I I hope everybody's doing good. I'm fixing to actually find me something to drink, and in this event, because this event, that's great. I've got my own event. Yeah, this is the 50-meter intel. Um, People, listen. It's kind of crazy. You see the picture for the thumbnail. So I'm gonna get into some things. Okay, so all right. Here, wait, we need some music. This is from the 1930 Olympics. Since there's gonna be some Olympic, it's turned into a game. It's turned into a kind of a joke about arming and helping Ukraine, even though everybody else is. So this is from the German Olympics, back around the time that helmet was made. This is their the Olympic hymn, 1936 Berlin Olympics. I believe that's thing is, wasn't Jesse Owens there? Let's see here. See if I can get that playing again. That was my bad. I hit the audio button when I moved it. Let's see. No, and play this. Here we go. There we go. Get some proper music, because you see, Putin is going to be at the Chinese Olympics, and so war has been put on hold. Okay, but when he comes back, there's going to be a whole other Olympics. I'll get into that in a bit. That's the part where you're going to put your coffee to the side, or it'll come out your nose. This one here, it might get you too. So put your coffee down if you're playing along at home. You know, the home game where you drink coffee, and then at a certain point, something I say makes coffee get through. You know, I know what happens with my lives. I get that. So this is music from the 1936 Berlin Olympics. Olympische hymn. Thought it was proper. So it's all turned into a game, because now war is on hold, like I said, so that the Russian president is going to go to the faux Olympics in China. Well, basically nobody else is going. It seems like because they made a rule saying that they could indefinitely hold Olympic players from being in the thing, and a lot of people are boycotting their Olympics. They said they could put people into I don't want to say concentration camps, but put them into hold places for quarantine, due to the possibility that they may or may not have the coronavirus, even though they're athletes and they're trying to compete and all this stuff. So it's yeah, so it's gotten that kind of crazy that nobody's going to go to that Olympics. So it's like a birthday party that nobody shows up to, right? I mean, which who would have that now in the COVID? See, don't have birthday parties, people. But they I've heard about a few, and everybody got COVID. But they basically, no one's going to the Chinese Olympics except a few select countries, and well, Russia's one of them. So while they're doing the faux Olympics, after they get back, there's going to be a winter Olympics. I'll go ahead and tell you about that one. For that one, there's going to be a rocket bobsled trench team. Okay, they got plans to have the tank shooting competition. And I mean, if they need spectators, they can just shoot them down out of airliners, right? And they'll have all the spectators they want. But there's going to be a heavyweight tank track, repair team. They've got paratrooper competition where they land at a certain spot and see who can get right to the X. It's kind of like curling with people. They've got a speed tank greasing event. I think Germany might take them on that. I'm not sure, but anyhow. But now Russia's got the deep dive. There's a deep dive event. They're using submarines. They go down about 18,000 feet. The Loshark's going to win. It's the favorite. The Loshark is basically the entire world knows, and we're all behind. We know that a Loshark can go that deep, so we're behind it on the deep dive competition. It'll get the gold. Then there's a 50-yard crawl with live fire. Anybody wants to get into that, you might want to have one of those helmets that Germany's offering. But there's a night vision hide and go seek, And the grand finale is the Red Rover event at the end, where they have people basically defect to the other side. So going through all this, and they will have that bobsled competition. You have to be able to ride a rocket to jump over, because there's all the trenches. It's kind of difficult. The difficulty on that one's about a 10, people. So, but while the war's on hold, so that he can go to that Olympics, like he did the last time, he went to a different Chinese event, and then after that he invaded Ukraine. They think he's going to do the same thing. This is just the word. This is just scuttlebutt. So it kind of falls in line with it. But in the meantime, instead of, like everybody else, instead of sending arms and people to Ukraine to help out, Germany has decided to send 5,000 helmets. Now, the Ukrainian president said, what's next? You're going to send pillows, right? Because they sent in a bunch of, they sent in a bunch of mobile medical units last time. So it's all about, for them, it's not about defense, which really he said the wrong thing. He could have asked for feather beds, because that has a military purpose. If somebody shoots feather bed, feathers go everywhere, and it's better than smoke screen for a little bit. So he should have asked about, Germany is known for feather beds. Yeah, you should have probably got that. Or something from IKEA that they could mail to Russians right there on the border. And if that would take 4 hours extra for them to try to put that crap together, that would actually take a lot of Russian troops off the battlefield, trying to figure out where the screws and the holes go, and leave a couple screws out on purpose. Send them some IKEA furniture. That would do it. But so in the meantime, what you have is they come up with this number, 5,000 helmets is what Germany can do right now to help Ukraine in defense of their nation. So having said that, I figured it out, people. I know what's up. You see the helmet in the thumbnail? It's new, old, stock helmets. Are you ready for this? All they got to do is rub the SS off of it, or scrape if it's the stickers. I mean, okay, look. I mean, they had the metal ones that were like riveted on there, the SS. It's new, old stock. So that's why they only have 5,000. They would have had, see, if they were giving them good helmets, like from today, it would probably been, I mean, because you figure, Ukraine's got a couple 100,000 people that are now going to be defending, and it's my understanding, I think their army, maybe their army is like is 150,000 or 180,000. I'm not sure, you know. So 5,000 helmets. It's not that they care to send the very best, and they're sending the best. It's not that they only care about 5,000 of their people. They want to protect them all. They're just giving them stuff that's it's on the shelf. They're giving them all the old SS helmets. Now, see, what he should have asked for is the matching boots, because those high-riding leather boots that come way up past your knees, up high crop, almost to your hip, those would be helpful in this wintertime situation. And while they're at it, they should go ahead and get them some of those nice uniforms that they used to have, because those were sharp. You think about it, they did have good uniforms, right? They were so good they saluted each other every time they walked by. That's a uniform. So if they ask for 5,000 matching boots, I think that would be proper. So he really could have zinged them real good and said, are you going to send the matching boots? You know, there's that. And then, I mean, it's not, you don't have to goose step. They don't have to learn to just put the boots on and it'll keep you warm in the winter. They probably got new old stock of boots along with the helmets, and they match. You got to send a matching set. So if listen, Germany, if you're going to help out Ukraine, give them the whole uniform. You know, seriously, give them the boots. You know. So, I mean, they could have at least said, we're going to send 100,000, but they don't have 100,000 old, you know, Waffen SS German, you know, helmets. Maybe they do. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They're finding tanks in people's basements and this kind of thing. And they got, listen, they do have the thing where they have these older equipment and they run them around in the countryside and they're like, look, this thing still works, and that's people. They took old German equipment. I dig that. And they got all the motorcycles. Maybe they could have sent them some of them old Nazi motorcycles and the boots and the helmet. That's why the helmets was only 5,000 helmets, because you only need about 5,000 motorcyclists. There you go, people. So I figured it all out. And if the leader of Ukraine, if anybody got this to him, he needs to ask for the matching boots, not pillows. That would have been better. But if you ask for feather beds, like I said, those have a purpose. It's like a fog or smoke screen. Right now I'm looking at some snow coming by. I don't know if you see it a little bit. See, it'd be a lot more than that. The feathers would be everywhere. So anybody that wants to watch the Russian Olympics while it's the Winter Games, okay, there's a reloading competition. There's going to be a wall climb to see who can get it up the fastest. I appreciate the like. And also they you know, I don't know if they're going to have any type of a high jump. You kind of want to keep your head down. Just the low crawl under the barbed wire with the bullets overhead, live fire, low crawl. And then there was going to be a grenade toss, but their best guy, he had a little bit too much vodka and he went to throw it late and it blew his hand off. So that's not good, but that happened. Yeah, no, I just made that up, but that was funny. So the thing is, with all this warring and stuff, at some point parking's going to get to a minimum over there in Russia on the Ukraine border, and they're going to start booting tanks. So when they start having to pay for parking, like we have to pay for parking as truck drivers, that's when the war's going to end, because ain't nobody going to stand for that. Not even Germany. And they're not being cheap. They're just trying to, just in the same way that Hitler liked money and gold and paintings and all, they have put their interest of the pipeline and what they want above the safety of their neighbor. They have basically shook the hand of the devil and said, yeah, okay, we'll go along to get along, just leave us out of it and keep pumping oil and fuel to Germany. I don't know what they think they're going to be at the end, but in the end, there were people in the concentration camps that were kind of like what they called slave drivers. Somebody who go along to get along, hurt his fellow man, and then be the eyes and ears and the spy inside, even though that was his people. Germany, think about that for a second. That's how it makes you look a little bit. Like those are your people, because they're just people, you know. And instead of protecting them, you kind of being the person that's snitching on them to the person that would kill them, sort of. So I don't know in the end how they politically plan to play this out. I mean, they're not even allowed to wave their own flag and have. I think that Germany should start waving their own flag. I think they should start standing up for their own nationalism. Maybe they should even tell their leadership to change that. You know, unless all they have to send is some old German SS helmets, about 5,000 of them. I'll let y'all be the judge. You tell me. The whole rest of the world's talking about it and saying, hey, listen, that's pretty messed up. Maybe they could send something else, you know, not, 100 Band-Aids. You know what I'm saying, people? It's kind of stupid. And helmets, how about some armor plating for vehicles and for people, some of those, chest protector plates. I'm sure that they have some pretty good night vision. They can help out. Germany could really help out. They do understand warfare. They have not forgotten it. Okay? They do have an army. It's a good army. They do have people who study war, who could help to defend a nation against the encroaching enemy, But they're entrenched. And at the same time, the leader of Ukraine got up there. I think that was, maybe it was a little bit of a taunt. I don't know, but he got up there and says that there's not enough Russian troops on the border really to invade. And I think there kind of is. Less is more. I'm gonna say that. But technology is just gonna shut them down. So, anybody want to say anything? You want to tell me I'm wrong? Hey, I'm not the one offering 5,000 helmets, and it's got to be that number for a reason. So I figured it's new old stock. Anybody want to knock that out of the park? Give me a little heads up on what type of helmet they're actually sending, because that's what it sounds like to me. Get you some boots, people, because it's cold outside. But if you're in the planning division, send them some gloves. Send them socks. Send them wool caps. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what that means, brother. You're welcome here, even if that's bad. Whatever. You know what I mean? God bless you. And I hope that you can translate what I'm saying so you understand it. So we're all on this planet together, and we're all people. And it's my opinion that I bleed just as red as everyone else does, but no one wants to bleed. You know what I'm saying? So we need peace in this world. So with all the war and all of the threat of it and stress caused by it, and all the families they've already destroyed over there and taken land from people in Crimea, Russia really should be ashamed of itself, because you don't loot your neighbor's house to say that you have something and then expect to be able to call them your neighbor, right? So if those are your people, why are you robbing your own people? You know what I mean? Just be happy. Christ said for the soldiers to be content with their wages. Russia needs to be content with what it has. Does it not have enough? Like, it's got enough nuclear weapons to blow up the world, you know, a few times over. Together, all of the countries have enough to blow it up 15 times or whatever. And we've had nuclear, you know, proliferation treaties where they, you know, they disarm and then they disarm. And then Russia wants a ballistic missile that goes, you know, 1,700 miles a second. And, well, okay. So really, what does it matter how close something is to you when it's like you can reach out and touch somebody anyway, right? They need to think globally. Like, if they're going to sell oil, don't always use it as the sword of Damocles, where if they make the wrong move, you take it away, you know. But they only know war, and they think they're just so good at it, whatever. But hey, listen, they better watch out for those German helmets. I'll guarantee you, you know what? I'll guarantee you this. Ukraine will use them for something. They might crap in them. I don't know. Ukraine will have a field day with those helmets. They will do something. Maybe they'll put them on sticks and put them on a little rover and drive them over to the line. Who knows what they'll do? It's got to be something good. I'll guarantee you, because they already probably have helmets. I'll guarantee you that they will do something special with those helmets. Now, I am not saying for them to crap in them and send them back. I'm not saying that like that. I'm going to say this. If they have the SS on the side, knock that off, because that's not proper. They don't, you know what I mean? So wherever they're getting them from and whatever they're doing, anyone wants to say anything, there's that. And this guy here, he's going to be famous. And he's a Sikh. Okay? You see the turban? This guy is a Sikh. Okay? He is from India. I can't quite tell, but it's probably Punjab area. There's that. So yeah, and you know, Mark Twain said war was designed so that Americans could learn geography, which is pretty sad, because schools don't teach geography like they should, and you can't turn to them, where is this? I am guilty of it also, people. I have to look. I was trying to look into another flight and see which country. He's gonna be famous for real. Look at this guy. I'm telling you, he's a businessman. He's gonna take care of business like Elvis over there with that phone. So I'm guilty too, because I was looking up a different flight thing and looking into that. I'm not gonna talk about it. I know about it. I already know. I know, and then I know. But I can't talk about that one. But yeah. Wrong place, wrong time, unfortunate is what it is. I'm not going to talk about that one. However, I was looking it up, and I was looking at the geography of it, and I was looking at, hey, did it land in Vietnam? Did it land right there? Was it right there on the border, you know? And I was thinking the book too, and then I was looking at the other system that actually Vietnam uses a different kind of missile. And I was looking at a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, a little something. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know, 370 and all, that yeah, that's a whole different, that's a muddy event. I have no interest on doing anything on that for a reason, people. God bless you. Do your own research. There's even remote viewers that have dug into that, and some of that's a rabbit hole. One of them is an actual pretty interesting story. I might even put a link up. I'll put a link up to that one. I'm not going to do this myself. That's at rest. Okay, people? That's at rest. It is what it is, and God bless it. However, it needs to stop where they're shooting down civilian airplanes, and Russia's got an issue with that. And like I said in a comment on my last video, it's actually going to be 3 of them, but 1 of them will be saved from within and without. That's the truth on that. So, never mind my knowing, you'll see it in the news. Just like I told you that, hey, the Iranians, did what they did. When the news was saying, oh, look, it's an accident. No. Anyways, people, anybody want to say anything? You should be more interactive here. I had a couple of comments, and yeah, I just don't understand one, but I appreciate the thumbs up and the like there on the happy faces there. What is that? Alonda Watchman. Okay. Yeah, it's hard for me to see the screen too because it's light. The light is so bright, but the light is a great disinfectant. So for the end of this, I'm gonna play some more if I can. Wait, that's no good. I need this thing to give me audio. We got to Bluetooth it up. That's what happened with my music. See, I had the German Olympic music. It was great. Goes right along with those helmets, the new old stock. Yeah, and get some boots. I don't know if they can get them those nice uniforms or a different type of one, with where they balloon out a little bit at the sides, the MC Hammer pants before MC Hammer had them. I'm just saying, they were awesome. Those German uniforms, yeah, for real. So, but they need wool socks out there in the trenches. They need prayers, because there can never be enough prayer. That's just how it is. And they need supplies. They don't need somebody joking and jerking their chain. So I'm sure they'll find something interesting to do with those helmets. They are intelligent. Airing up tires. All right then, WD, air them tires up, man. I don't know what you run. I run anywhere from 100 to 105, no more than 108 or 110 on steers. I say 100 is good. 105 is right at my limit where I like to put them, and then I do 100 on the rear. But they have that tire pass. That thing's the greatest thing ever because it's only a few bucks and they'll do the whole deal. And that's kind of nice. It loves tire pass. I let them do it. But if you're not near one and you got to do your job, you got to check them with a gauge, because kicking them don't work, people. It can be deceiving. You know what I mean? At least once out of the 3, you definitely. But keep a tire gauge. Check the air. I just had to use my tire gauge to knock the ice out of the freaking reefer unit. I had them wash my reefer unit out. It froze. The water was still not freezing, but the plugs that they drain out of were frozen, so it kept the water in there. And I was going to get loaded. I'm like, man, they may not load me with this water in the channels of my trailer. I'm like, crap. So I took a hammer and I hammered my air chuck through the ice, and it knocked the plugs off the bottom, the rubber plugs. I just threw them in the back. They loaded me up. There it is. You do what you got to do, And I took my wooden tire thumper, the handle of it, and hammered it through there too at the end. That's what knocked them the rest of the way out. But I was just trying to chip ice through. It wouldn't do it. Those little rubber plugs will pop off before anything. So now I've got 2 rubber plugs and little clip ties on them. I got to take those off. That's just to emergency get the water out the floor. And then I'm sure it promptly froze, so I've got icicles probably sticking down from it. It's we all improvise, oh yeah, I forgot the other game that they're going to be playing out there is the landmine detonation event. That's going to happen. So it's a fast moving event. You got to be quick. So yeah, a few of those are going to go off. And then there's the javelin shoot. They don't throw javelins, they shoot them. Okay, and then they're going to, basically it takes about, here's the numbers, people. It takes about 102 to 103 javelins to knock out 100 tanks. Okay, so because there may be a couple that either they want to hit them twice or they might miss. Those javelins are accurate. Those javelins are jam up, and every country that has them, it's kind of like, yeah, we'll send you ours, we'll send you ours. That's how good they are. It's just a, and it's a shoot and forget weapon. You don't have to sit there and keep, you know, on target, looking at the target for the thing to hit and be exposed. You can leave. You shoot and move, shoot and move, you know, reload. You can be reloading. So while that round hits that one and another tank shows its, rears its ugly head, you knock that one out too because you're already reloaded. And you can be in a different position. So it's not like a laser painted target kind of thing or something that they have to be on sight and sight it and keep sighting it and then it gets hit. The weapon does its job. And it can go from up above or straight at an angle of, you know, horizontally, like the horizon. So it could come straight trajectory, and you're not getting out of that. It's not like that. It's not like that tank movie, the T-34 or whatever that was. It was a really great movie, but to show shells going and hitting the tank and then they just get a headache and they're wrung for a minute, that's not life or reality. They've even had videos of, I could put one up, a link of one, where even the Taliban hit a tank and just knocked it out. I mean, it is what it is. You're a big target. So they can put 1 million tanks out there. That just means they need, let me do the math. They would need 1,100,000 javelins to take out 1 million tanks. Because, I mean, some of it could be even, you know, that they hit it and they decide to hit it twice. Not for any special reason, just to make sure. They might be a little worried, a little stressed. You know, stress can make them shoot twice. So people, other than that, war is on hold. All the tanks have been booted until, like, Putin wants to go to the Chinese Olympics to show, you know, support. And then I'm sure there'll be Russian players there, and that's good. And they're athletes and they're performing, but it's a big show. And the rest of the world is boycotting it because, like, China was going to use it as an event to take hostage a bunch of people and say that they may or may not have COVID, and then they're in quarantine the whole time while the Olympics is going on, and then for weeks and weeks and weeks after the Olympics they'd still be stuck in that country. Can you see why people don't want to go? So appreciate the likes, and I'll this thing here, man, I had some music, like I said, we'll play a little bit of that. Connections, the Bluetooth should be connected. Yeah, it's connected. Let's try this, man. It was going good. We had the Olympic hymn. Let's see if I can pick it up. That's what it was. I had, there we go, Bluetooth audio. I had static in the background going. I don't even know what they're saying. If it's got anything to do with Hitler, don't fault me. I'm not the one sending 5,000 old stock helmets. But this was the music from the 1936 German Olympics. So since we're having the war games of it all, you need, I guess, music. They're also going to have that, like I said, the nighttime. If you can play hide and go seek, if you're any good at that, and you can evade night vision, they're going to have a night vision evading competition also. So I recommend Mylar, that emergency blanket material that's real thin, but it's reflective. That stops heat. And then don't play the game in full moonlight. They always get those guys. That's never good. If I want to say anything, like I said, I'm just chilling, hanging out for a sec. And then I'm gonna shut this thing down. And if anybody can tell me if that's not the least thing that a place could send to a country about to be invaded is 5,000 helmets, like I said, they'll find something useful to do. Think of all the useful things you could do with a helmet that would be, well, I'm sure the Ukrainian army is going to do something pretty disrespectful with them. So if you can think of what you could do, I mean, honestly, they might be useful to make soup in. People used to eat out of them. So it can be used as a bedpan. It can be used as water. It can be used to make soup. It can be used to dig a hole, okay, a foxhole. And then you can also put it on the end of a rifle barrel and stick it up and see if somebody shoots at it, and then watch where they shot from and then fire on their position. That's useful, very useful. Keep your heads down if you're in the Ukraine, but in your mind, keep your heads up. You know what I'm saying? God bless you, all the people in every country that's experiencing war. They've got one country, I think that was in South Africa, that the army took over the government. I'm not sure what the story is behind that, and there's a lot going on. There's a whole lot going on. And I do know that all of our people are being recalled from the embassy in Ukraine. They actually did that, what I was talking about. So that means they kind of know. And our State Department saying that they are going to attack mid-February because they think it's after the Olympics also. So, and that's a accident waiting to happen. Just now, I'm nothing against Prime, but man, y'all do a lot of craziness, you know. And that's the end of the song. That's the end of the Olympic song. I guess it's time to ride. God bless you, people. Don't go ordering helmets, because right now Germany only had 5,000. There must be a shortage, and there's a shortage of other stuff, and they're showing shortages of food and this and that, and they're actually admitting to it now. And it's not just people going after a certain time when people are buying milk, bread, and eggs for bad weather. It's actually shortages that the mainstream media is picking up on and showing shortages. So I hope you're having everything you need, but if you don't, call around before you just drive around and waste gas money. And if you're a trucker, you know what we do. We go to another state and buy it there and bring it back. Ride with it. You know, anywhere from bottled water to decent boots and jackets and hats and whatever you need to keep warm. Stay warm, people. I'm getting off this thing. God bless you. I'm out. Peace.